So what do you think? Is there, legally, can we say, do it? I'm willing to call Foster and talk to him. I can call him and say, hey, what kind of deal can we work? I don't have the authority to tell a defense contractor to go to work, but I think I got enough talent to call around a little bit and find the best guy that can start some work tomorrow. And if the staff can start getting some materials up there.
Councilor Button?
I'm not going to disagree with Dennis. I really think there's an awful lot he's saying that there's correct. My concern is at the moment we're in a work session. And my understanding from previous work sessions was that we cannot make a decision in a work session. Is that the case?
Especially on something that's not on the agenda, because the public should be here, and they didn't know this was going to be on the agenda. This is
My understanding is this is not a decision-making meeting. That said,
If we can have a consensus, I'll start talking to fence contractors, I'll talk to Foster, I'll start talking to people, and then whenever you guys want to get around that meeting, we'll have all the information.
well, if it were legally defensible, I would absolutely agree with
I
this.
got no problem with waiting, but I think we need to move ahead now. I think tomorrow that some fence materials could move up that hill if we really wanted. And I think,
Mike, what would the amount be that we would spend without putting it out?
I just wanted to say, we've already begun the process of contacting defense contractors. So I don't think I need the council to give me that direction.
But what can we contract to spend?
Our direction to the fence contractor is to block the entirety of both fences and fix this, before winter. Our direction is not going to be to build a new fence, but to repair what's existing there. The problem with a 4-wire fence is the elk play heck on it. And so the idea of the 3-wire fence is to try to let the deer and the elk get over it or get under it or whatever. I mean, that is the idea. I don't know if that is a valid idea, but that's the idea of the 3-wire fence according to the Forest Service. And we had a meeting with the Forest Service yesterday and talked about allotments to see what we can do. And it's not that the cattle can't be in there now. It's the ranger has the discretion to put cattle on any allotment. It's all up to the ranger. And the ranger's not concerned that those cattle are on that allotment now. So I agree also. We're trying to find a contractor, fence contractor this time of the year. We've got several names. I know that doesn't sound as immediate as Councilor Dorrah's meeting, so I didn't answer the question. If it's thousands of dollars to try to build a new fence, we'll probably just ask you to, look at the projects that have already been budgeted and, agree that we're not going to do that project this year, and we'll just divert the money to, building a new fence. So I don't think we need to do anything except internally, you guys could decide not to do one of the water projects and do another water project.
From the looks of these pictures, it looks like it's a lay-down fence. So they lay it down in the winter so the snow doesn't tear it apart.
It's not like that.
It's
I don't
from
know.
there. You can do a 4-wire lay down fairly easy, to where they go down after the cows are a long ways away. Go down, lay the fence down for the winter time so the snow doesn't tear it apart. And then in the spring, somebody goes, walks the line and sets the fence back up. And I've done hundreds of miles of it, and it's not hard. You can do 10 miles a day.
Yeah, Jeff suggested, when we were talking to him yesterday, maybe make that top strand electrical cable. I think he said like 3/8 electrical cable, so it's easier for the, during the oath to see, and they don't get snagged when they go over it. He's done that in other forests. I just don't know if we have time before snow to completely rebuild the fence.
Well, again, my issue is, we gotta get the cattle out of there now.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
And I think there's something to be said for having some fence in place
I do.
when it's taken.
Yeah, I do too. And then the other thing we talked about, we've got to talk a little bit more to the epidemiologist about it, is hire a couple, laborers just to walk up through, that drainage, maybe 150 feet both sides of the creek, and pick up cow pies and either move them 300 feet away from the creek or take them clear out of the watershed. Now, the thing we have to ask the epidemiologist is, are we creating a bigger problem by picking them up and moving them than just leaving them lay? I don't know.
Councilor?
A couple of things that Dennis said I want to reiterate. It almost doesn't matter what kind of a fence you build. You have no ironclad guarantee that livestock won't get through it. If they want to get through it, some of them are incredibly smart and they will get through it. So that's not an ironclad guarantee. Right now, the permittee had intended for those cows that are there to be in a different pasture altogether. And his intent, was that he would keep them in that other pasture until September 1st. Well, obviously they got through. So any fence you build is vulnerable. And I don't have a absolute or good solution to this. If you had a situation in which a fence was built on a totally defensible line, like a road where you can drive the whole length of the fence and see it any given day and absolutely repair it, you could probably control 99.9% of the cattle, what Dennis is talking about. It always depends on the management plan of the Forest Service or the BLM, where the cattle are intended to be, where they draw the line and say, we can put up a defensible perimeter here and maintain it. That fence line that you're looking at goes through brush, goes up and down steep slopes. Any given year, a little storm could wash out a little. We need to go underneath it. Small cattle can get under. Large cattle, if it's too low, will step over. So to meet the standard that I heard our state representative saying, we would probably ultimately need to have personnel who are regularly checking it, working with that permittee very hard, and the minute cattle even approach that fence, to try to push them away. Alternatively, as Dennis says, let's say, well, what do we need to do with the Forest Service to do something more defensible? Can we buy out the allotment? That's not something that
I asked that question.
the federal government ordinarily doesn't even contemplate that because of the political consequences. We're scared to death of that idea. It sounds like it makes sense to people who are concerned about protecting their water, but it's a really difficult thing when you're dealing with politicians at the federal level. So they're scared to death of that idea. I think if we try to maintain the fence that's there, help maintain it, get the permittee involved, get the Forest Service involved. Say, let's make some improvements, as Dennis has already done. It makes some difference. Then you've got to have a person, literally a person dedicated to that job for an extended period of time. And it sounds like you've done that. I didn't know that about you. I've done it. Dennis has ranched. He knows what it's like, what cattle are like. There's no such thing as an impermeable fence, and if you do construct one, the elk will knock it down.
Yeah.
So there are things we can do to try to meet the standard. But, you know, if we can work out a deal with the permittee and somehow, you know, get those cattle out of there. Another idea might be the ponds that are easily accessible for livestock. Could be bladed over, filled, so that if there's not a good water source, they won't come there. You know, there are a number of different ideas that could be put in place to make the problem less of a problem. I'm not sure that there is an absolute ultimate bulletproof way to deal with it. If the consensus is acceptable in this setting, to say, yeah, we would like to ask staff to go ahead and just start doing what they can do until we can have a properly noticed meeting and make a decision that we need to put more funds into it, then that's the thing to do.
Yes, Councilor Munch.
I've heard all the long-term, it sounds like a long-term plan you're talking about, and I also see on Dennis's solution list here, immediately. So we're talking like, what we do right now, immediately do something right now. Sounds like there's some things in the works, but are those things like immediately, like things are happening tomorrow?
Well,
or-
I mean, they're as quick as we can get a fence contractor.
Okay.
And this is a busy time of the year for fence contractors.
Maybe it would be helpful for the council to get like a weekly update or something like that, so we know what's happening. Or,
Are you one of those?
oh, that's true. And is this with that's what you did? Right, okay, so we'll look for what's happening weekly in that report.
And so my idea, instead of us buying the materials and packing them up there, is just, I mean, if you get a fence contractor, he's gonna have the materials, he's gonna be able to repair the fence, and we just pay him for the work he does.
Well, it sounds like repairs, we're looking at.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If he can repair it to where he feels it will keep the cows out, that's fine. Sections need to be completely rebuilt.
What I want to do before the snow flies is have somebody walk the entirety of both those fences and fix, you know, before the snow falls, fix all the bad spots. And then in the spring, by golly, we can do whatever you guys want, build 2 brand new fences up through there.
So you're only telling this person to repair the places that are damaged.
Yeah.
Can you be a little more, you know,
Like what?
have him repair it to a point to where the cows will.
Well, I think that's what he'll do.
Yeah, if you feel that the, you know, sections of the fence were inadequately built to start with or something, you know, there may be sections that need to be.
Before
Well, I want you to know, I'm not doing this because I want somebody to say, oh, good job, Dan. Hey, I'm telling you, the cows are going in and out. We got a problem, and I can do it up to a point.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, we got a problem up there. You walk up that one road, well over a mile inside the watershed, and there's cow pies up there, and it's getting up close to the top of the hill. I don't think they were down on a nice grassy creek bottom, this for the heck of it, walked up to the top of the mountain. I think they came through the fence up there and working their way down the creek. That's my opinion, but I know they wander, I know they do this, calf goes this way, cows, and then they get together at the top of the hill, I guess, but the fact is, this is not, it's not just a few places, man. Some of these fences, that, I don't know if it shows any in this one, but they've been, like on this picture 3, you can see that has been broken in the past, and they've repaired it, and that's one of the reasons why it's got a 36-inch space underneath the deal. They didn't get it tight enough. They just bent a loop around, took another wire, and as tight as they could by hand, they pulled it. Well, it didn't tight enough, especially every time the cow goes under, it stretches it some more.
Yeah.
So,
But
we got a problem, guys. That's all I'm saying, and I don't feel good about next spring when we could do something this year, in my opinion. But, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not saying any more about it.
Okay, well, thank you, Councilor. Hand this over to Councilor Moulton.
can I just say one more thing before we leave? We got our first test back, and it was zero. No detections of criminal. That was our front. No, from what the state requires us to do the walk well test. So that's good.